chicken and ribs at a tasty price. And by McDonald's. Have you had your break today?
I'd like to welcome you back to the 6th week of championship bowling here at Brunswick Lanes. I have to say, Bruce, last week had to be the most exciting that I've experienced since we've been doing this. This has been a fantastic tournament. We've got some great bowlers, some new bowlers, and even some of the new bowlers are really coming on strong.
Well, if our fans didn't enjoy last week's bowling, there's something wrong, because that was a nail-biter right down to the end.
It certainly was.
There was a difference of only 2 pins and a winner and a loser. And John Harris, one of the newer ones, came on real strong. Chris Churchill, who didn't make it, rolled real well. And Brian and John both advanced. So it was a good, exciting week.
It certainly has been. And I think this week is going to be equally as strong. This is being the last week of our first round, and once we get this, then at half of the field will be eliminated after today.
Yep, we'll still have 12 left, and we've got 3 new TV bowlers on today this week too, who have not appeared on television before. So it should be interesting to see how they make out.
That's right. How they adjust to the lights, the cameras, and and you know, being up there alone as opposed to always bowling against somebody, and that makes a big difference.
Oh yes. Yeah.
So I guess without any further ado, we're going to ask for the first bowler to come up. And our first bowler this week is Weldon Robbins. Weldon's from Atwoods Brook. He's formerly of Wedgeport. He's 33 years old. He works for Sea Star Seafoods. He's been bowling for 6 years and bowls in 3 leagues. He currently has an average of 111. He has a career high single of 163 and a career high triple of 381. Weldon qualified for this tournament with a triple of 331.
Started out throwing a real nice first and second ball, left the right-hand corner pin. He could have had a spare just as easy as not, but he starts off with a 9. Weldon's a new bowler to me. I've never seen Weldon bowl, and
no, I haven't either.
I've seen the scores and so on like that. So
I watched. I'm sorry, Bruce.
He qualified, so
yeah,
he's got to be there.
I was here during the qualifying and watched him, and he was doing some nice bowling that day, and he was making a few, some really nice shots. So I think we're in for another treat again this week.
Nice spare.
Excellent spare. Weldon Robbins.
So he's got his first mark early. That can make a difference in a fella. You don't press so much. This is George Corporon.
George Corporon he's from Wedgeport. He's 50 years old, and he's a fish plant worker. He's been bowling for 13 years. He bowls in 2 leagues, the Friday and the Sunday night league. His current average is 121. His all-time career high single is 181, and his career high triple is 431. He's had 9 games over 400, and he qualified for this tournament with a triple of 376.
Oh, he almost cut that one over there.
Yeah. Excellent try.
And he starts off with a 9. Good first ball reading. Leaves the 6-9. The wood shouldn't make any difference in that shot at all. He wants to get right down there on the 6 pin if he can. And George has a pair of 9s to start.
Our next bowler is, I hope I pronounced this name right.
I was waiting for you to do it.
MCCOMISKEY. MCCOMISKEY, that's it, I guess. Larry MCCOMISKEY. From Lower East Pubnico. He's age 40. He's a fish plant worker. He's been bowling for 20 years and bowls in 3 leagues currently. His current average is 109. His career high single is 166 with a career high triple of 412. He's had 2 games over 400, and he qualified for this tournament with a 383.
I think Larry bowls down in Pubnico also. I see in the Vanguard scores come up from the lanes, and I see his name quite often in the top bowlers.
Seems to be getting that ball right in there on that head pin so far.
Pretty standard bowler, stands up pretty good, throws that ball out there. Well, there's that little triangle where you leave a 1.
Yep.
Makes it a tough shot to get all three of those pins at once. So Larry has a 10 and a 9.
And that's the 3 new bowlers that we have this year for this week. Our next bowler is Albert Saulnier. Albert's from Lower Wedgeport. He's 40 years old. He's a carpenter by trade. He has 26 years of bowling. He bowls in 4 leagues and currently has an average of 124. His career high single is 177 and his career high triple is 440. He has over 30 games over the 400 mark, and he qualified for this tournament with a 336.
I was just looking at the board. There's a spare for Albert to start off. I was going to say, I just looking at the board over there, our season here in Yarmouth is just a little better than half finished, and he's had 9 400s this year already.
Yeah, so you know that he's capable of exploding with some big games.
He bowls a lot.
Yeah, he does. And he's very consistent as well. I think, you know, anytime I've ever been around watching him, he's always in that same area. Very competitive bowler.
Right on it. So Albert Saulnier starts off with 2 spares. Weldon Robbins, he's got a 9 and a spare, and a spare working for him now. Hey, pretty ball in there. Big 9. 28 on 2. Should be able to stay a little bit to the left, right of that one, I should say. Push it through, center to the right. So he's got 2 spares in a row. Got over the side, but he's got some pins working for him. He ends up with a 6. Gives him 44 on 3. And get on the head pin, you got a good shot at one there. Everything but the 7.
And just misses it.
Takes a 9 for 53 on 4, so he's off to a good start.
He's 13 over par for 4 alleys, and that's a real good start.
George Corporon. I don't know how you can leave that 3rd pin in a row. You hit 4 in a row and leave the middle, one of the middle ones. I don't know how you can do that, but you see it quite often.
Certainly amazes you, doesn't it?
It amazes me now. It was maybe mad earlier.
Yeah, I hear you. It's
made the spare a little easier. Got rid of those 2 other pins in back there, and now he's left the 3, 6, 10.
I guess I never ever bowled that much when I was bowling. I was a once a week bowler, but certainly enjoyed it while I was bowling.
And George has got 4 9s. Larry McComsky. Started off with 19. Throws that ball out there. Pretty good speed. Doesn't seem to be aiming it a lot. Just seems to be putting it out there where he wants it and let the ball do the work. And a 9. We may be off to another quick match here, the way the boys are going at it. They're not wasting any time.
They seem to be up there really putting it out there, don't they?
Well, not a heck of a lot of sense sitting on the bench. No. You might as well get up there and bowl. That's what you're here for.
Yep.
He's got an 8-pin drop there. It looks like the 2 and the 8, and there's a couple pieces of wood laying in there. One up front might hurt him if he can't hit it just right. Right on it.
There.
Right on the nose.
Right on the nose and shoved it back. It was a nice shot.
So Larry gets his first mark.
And Albert's up for his third alley with 2 spares.
Down on the side, but he comes out with a half a dozen.
Albert's another one of these bowlers that has a very hard ball and gets a lot of action off of it.
I find Albert is quite accurate also.
Yes, he is.
With his hard ball, he's got good control. Well, he's going to take $5 of our money for that shot, because he started off with 3 marks in a row.
And it looks nice on the board.
All it says is he got 3 spares in a row.
Exactly.
When he's off the head pin, he's getting half decent breaks out of it. So another 6 gives him 50 on 3. And he wants to get on that head pin.
He stands a good chance of getting another one here. There it is.
Just what he did.
There it is. That's 4 spares in a row for Albert.
Not a bad start.
So that puts him 60 in the 4th and open.
Not a bad start.
No, that's. He's sure laying down the groundwork for the rest of them, isn't he?
Yeah, come and get me. Weldon Robbins. He's been on that front pin.
He has.
He's been laying that thing right in there.
He's getting some good action, and he's 53 in the 4th, so he's only he's what, the 13 over, and there's a spare for Weldon.
Got down quite a bit on that one, but still was able to make it drop. Four on that one. Gives him 67 on 5.
17 over par and a chance for another one. Oh, hit that thick.
And takes a good 8 for 75. Now, George Corporon, the only man without a mark. He's had 4 9s to start with, so he'll want to start throwing a big one in there.
Right now, Weldon and Albert is setting the pace for these guys.
Leaves the 4 on the right-hand side. The 4 horsemen, as they were called. A little thin.
Which caused it to go over and hit the side wall and come back, take out the 10.
And a good
and
10.
Cleaned it up. Good pinning.
That's a pretty good ball in there, and it just leaves a bunch of 5.
Yeah.
And you don't take out half the pins. It looks like it's a lot better ball than the results show. Nice shot. Nice shot. I like that spare.
Brings it down and makes it look real easy. Shook his head after that first ball. He was like you. He couldn't see why a ball going in that nice into a pocket would leave 5 of the pins standing.
Larry's open on a spare. Looks like a 4.
Yeah.
Yep. So he's 42 on 4. And comes out with a good 9.
9.
He's gonna, yep, good.
Come out.
Wood slid along, took the bottoms right out of those, and now he's got a real good shot. And that little triangle in the corner, the wall can help him. Yep. Nice
Just
spare.
what it did. Just what it did.
Albert Saulnier. Looking good for a start. 4 straight spares.
Right back on that head pin again.
Another 6, so he's had 6 on his last 3 spares. And he's 66 on the 4th. Gotta hit that one just right to get it.
Yeah. And he did. 5 spares in a row for Albert Saulnier.
What an easy game this is, huh?
It's great for me when I'm watching somebody else do it. Back on that head pin again.
He's been in that pocket. Back in that pocket, good. So he's now 84 on the 5th. Now he's got a little more difficult shot. Well, the wood's backing off a little bit.
Doesn't look like it's going to roll off the plate, so we might be able to put it in play.
It's double wood, too.
Oh, tried real hard. So that ends his marks for now.
Just saved his $5. And a 9 for 93. So he's 33 over par halfway through his game. We're after 6. Weldon 75, George 56 in open, Larry 61 in open, and Albert 93. We'll see if Weldon can get things going again here.
Again, he's back on that head pin.
Yeah. Up the hill, all the way.
He came in the back door and took that strike.
A lot of movement down there by the pins, and they all fell in the right direction. So strikes are lucky, spares are skill. Sooner be lucky than good. Oops.
Got away from him a little bit.
Looked like that's still not a bad break. He's still got a lot of pins, a good pocket hit in there. He's been on the hit pins. No reason why you think he can't get back in there again on it. There it is. Son of a gun.
Didn't want to go for him.
Got a big 9 on his strike, though.
And a 10 on the alley.
And a 10, which gives him 104 on 8. So he's 24 over par. George has got a spare open.
Weldon and Albert are certainly putting the pressure on George and Larry.
These guys are going to have to mark big and mark a lot.
George having some real tough luck. Even when he hits that head pin, he's not getting the breaks. And we're coming almost to the close of the first game here, and you're watching Championship Bowling here on Cable 5, brought to you by Subway and Red Knight Enterprises.
George is just 1 under par. He's 69 after 7 boxes. There he goes.
A little better break.
Yeah,
for George.
2-4-7. Like to have a good split on the front two.
Seemed to squeeze that a little bit too much.
And a 9 for 78. Now Larry's tie with George on the 6 with 61, but he's open right now with a spare.
And a big 9-pin break on that spare.
Puts him up to 70 on 6. Really pounded that one down, but there was plenty of action on it. Right on it. He's got 2 in a row. 3. Just a little bit too far outside.
Deadwood rolling around there took another pin, but it fell the wrong way.
And a 10 for 93. So Albert and Larry got the same score, except Larry's bowled 2 extra alleys. They're both at 93.
Albert's definitely got the pressure on.
Well, that's nice. You can throw a big one to start with and take some of the pressure off you as long as you don't relax too much in the second game. You got to stay sharp and keep in the game. You relax a little bit, take it easy, then you're going to get in trouble. Now he'd like to split those two real fine if he could and hop that one over in the left-hand corner. It was on the object pin.
That's what he was hoping to do.
He needed a real fine split on it to make the left hand go over to the corner there. Takes his 9 for 102.
Again, he's right back there.
Thing, yeah. So he's got the 2 down on the right with a Deadwood. If he hits that on the nose, you'll probably get those 2. And then what happens after that? Hard to say.
Anybody's guess, right? And that's just what he did.
Hit it on the nose, yeah.
He sent that pitch across, but it was back too far to take out that 7-pin.
And another 9 for 111. So right now we've got Weldon with 104, George with 78, Larry with a 93, and Albert 111. So 3 of them are reasonably close. George needs a couple of marks to get back in the ball game, that's all. He can throw a couple of marks in a hurry. Yep, there it goes.
Weldon's been getting some nice breaks.
Yeah, he's got a good break there. He's got the 3 and a 6. Just has to get on that front pin. Not the Deadwood, but the pin.
There
Right
he
on it.
goes.
Right on it.
Weldon's trying real hard not to let Albert run away too far from him.
Well, there's only 7 pins apart, so.
He's hanging right there. Back in that pocket again. Big strike. Big strike.
Yep. Now, if he's got 2 balls left, if he can mark here, he'll have a little bit of bonus money.
Just off of the head pin slightly. But still a good possible spare right there.
He's got a good shot at 140 plus. 18, 142.
That's a nice game. So far, Albert's the only one with a bonus money
so far, yep. Oh, George.
There's a break. There it is.
There it is.
There it is. There's a break he was looking for.
And as we mentioned, George is capable of throwing a couple of big ones in there.
Just off of the pocket, just a little bit. Just missed that head pin. But the spare is there for him.
Hit it.
Got it wobbling, but it won't go down.
Son of a gun. And a 10 for 107. All right, he picked up an extra 9 pins on the end there when he needed them.
Yeah.
That does a couple things for him. It brings his score up and makes him feel a little better. So.
And it narrows that gap in between. The leaders.
Just because Weldon rolled 142, he doesn't have to beat him.
That's right.
He only has to beat one of the guys up there, or two of the guys, I should say, but one other guy beside him. Now Larry's got an 8-pin drop there. Well, he's got 102. Like to have a mark here and get up in the 120 range.
Yeah, and that again keeps him within striking distance. There's that same 5-pin break we saw a little while ago that George had.
Right on it.
And he did the same thing. He hit it in the same spot and spared it up again. That puts him 112 and open.
Yeah, so you throw a big bomb here, and he'd have his 120.
Yeah.
Three. So 115 for Larry. Oh, we got a good match going here again.
Certainly have. By no means nobody's run away with it. As of yet, anyway. Albert back on that head pin and unfortunately punched it right through.
Very quiet.
Not a lot being said right now that can be heard.
And Albert has to take a 5. Things have a tendency to even up, don't they?
Yes, they certainly do.
The guy goes along and he has 5 in a row and he's hitting them like crazy, and then some 9s and then a bad box, and you're back in the pack again.
Yeah, and a couple of the other guys get a couple marks, and that closes that gap up in a hurry.
It's not a very good wood, I don't think.
It's a hard to get it to move.
And a 9 for a nice 125. So we're looking at George with 107, Larry with 115, Albert 125, and Weldon with 142. So any one of them can still move. We start the second game now with Weldon Robbins.
And these guys certainly aren't wasting any time. They're up there to bowl. That's one of the first bad balls I've seen Weldon throw.
Yeah.
Back on him.
Nice 10.
Back on him.
Very nice 10.
That's great recovery. Again, we're starting the second game of week 6, and it's been a tremendous 6 weeks so far, Bruce. Back in that pocket again, and a big strike.
There we have it again. A fellow throws a bad box or a bad ball, and he comes right back with a big mark.
That first ball and first ball punched out, second ball followed, and the third ball cleaned everything, and then the next one's a strike. George back on that head pin. That rolling back, no, he's gonna miss it.
Got a wide open shot. Nice shot, good split.
Ending up the first round of championship bowling here at Brunswick Lanes, sponsored by the Red Knight Enterprises and Subway.
Yeah, it's the first round, as you said. We got round 2 to go to, and then the semifinals, and then the big skin game.
And the big
match.
skin game. That's the exciting one, where these guys have some chances to make some big money if they get into that skins game.
George got 6 on his spare, and just about the same shot again. Right on.
George opens with double spares.
Well, there's the low man from the first game, and he's coming on strong to start the second game.
And he was only 35 pins behind top man, so 18 pins out of second place. So that's shows you how quick things can change around.
Let's see what Larry can do with that one. Well, he was right on it. That's why that spare is tough. You can get on that front pin and do a number of things to it.
I'd like to take this opportunity to thank St. Jerome's Restaurant for supplying the crew here with food today, and very tasty food, and really appreciate their support in helping us and feeding us.
Yep, we're glad they're back.
Yes.
7-pin drop, little triangle on the left. The wood can help him. Just get on that front pin. He should take it easy. Yep.
There it is.
So we're looking at some marks to start off this game. Albert Saulnier, suppose he can do again what he started the first game with?
He's capable of doing it, that's for sure.
1-3-7.
Off on the side, but with that ball and the action that he gets from it, he's left himself another possible spare there.
Right on the head pin. And a 9 for Albert.
Maybe by not starting out with all the marks, he'll end with them this time.
Yeah, right. Well, pounding them now.
Yes, sir. Just hard to believe. You feel like you're doing everything the same as you did before, but
left 3 on the right side, 4 on the left side. All right, it's good 3 there, and he's got to do the same thing on the other side. Good 10, real good 10.
real nice 10. So after 8, we have four marks. Weldon is 20 and open on a strike. George is 26 and open on a spare. Larry is 19 and open on a spare, and Albert is 19. And
Double strike.
double strike. Really nice one. There's another bonus point for Weldon.
So for new viewers, a double strike. The first strike is worth 20, and what he throws with the first ball, second strike is worth 10, and what he gets on the two first balls. So here's 20 plus 20 plus
20
26 on his first ball. First strike, I should say. So that gives him 36 on 2. Now the next strike is worth 10, and what the results of his first 2 balls here. Nice shot. Oh yes, he was right on the nose of that one too. Nice. Well, that was worth 19, so now he's up to 55 on 3. That was a good shot. He was right on that.
Yes, it certainly was.
And takes his 10 for 65. So with a double strike, he's 25 over par.
He definitely is setting the pace here.
Mm-hmm. Well, yes. He's 207 right now.
And he's still got 6 more boxes.
George Corporon with a big 9 on his second spare.
And he's set for another one.
No problem with that. Bonus money for George.
And he's still open with another
You got
spare.
the key to the vault.
I'm definitely keeping track of how much I got to take out of that vault.
4 on that one, so he got it down to the too far to the right-hand side that time. He's 49 on 3. It's funny, you throw the first ball like that and he gets away, goes down the right, and then a lot of times the second ball is way over to the left, and the third ball you don't know where it's going.
That's right.
So George has 56 on 4.
Puts him 9 below Weldon on this game. So he's still well within striking distance.
Oh, was anybody's battle in there for that?
Larry
was on a mark, so he got 8 on his spare. 27 on 2. Wide open shot. Split him just as good as gold.
He's got 2 spares in a row now.
Not gonna go. He got 4 on his.
Oh,
that's the one that was wobbling on his first time around.
And it's still wobbling. Makes you wonder sometime what you have to do to bring him down.
And it gives Larry 51 on 4. Well, the man that started off the first game with 5 marks in a row, he's got to come along now. He's got his first 2 boxes in without a mark, so everybody else got a mark in the 3rd box. Well, it's one of those.
Oh, that is a rugged break.
That's a rotten break. The 4-pin and the 10-pin and nothing to use in between. No wood. Good try.
Really nice
Good try. You the fans in back hear him on that one. They know he was right there on that shot.
That's right.
And then that was almost impossible shot, but he was right there to good crack at it. Takes a 9 for 28.
Albert's one of these bowlers that stands right to the very back of the approach with his heel hanging right over it in a 4-step approach.
Left the 3 and the 10 and the 7 and the 8, but he wants to get on the right-hand side of that 3-pin if he can. That's the pin that's out front. Let's try. He was on it, but
wrong side.
Hit it in the middle instead of on the side. And 8 for 36. So Weldon is 65, George 56, Larry 51, and Albert 36 after 4 frames of the second game in week 6. First round. How's that? I got everything in there, I guess.
And it has been exciting bowling in the past 5 weeks.
Yeah, we've had some good bowling. Interesting, close matches, some good games.
And we definitely have some good bowling to come.
Ooh. Left that 2-pin there. Picks up his 10. So halfway through, Weldon is 75 on the 5th. Getting off the head pin a little bit now. Last 3 or 4 balls have been sliding over to the side. And a 7 for 82 on 6. But he's in good shape. He's got a good pad from the first game, and he's 22 over par this game too, so I'd say he was in pretty good shape. George Corporon, 56 on 4. And cleans up for 10. The 1-3-7 again. And you can play that 2 different ways. You can split them, or you can go on the outside of the head pin. Ooh, just went past the right of the corner pin there, so
He played that on the outside, but
the ball had to take the pin over there and just went by it. Picks up another 10 for 76. Larry's 11 over par and had 115 his first game.
George is starting to put the pressure to Albert a little bit right now for that second spot.
4 in a row. You can leave 1 somehow. Ten. That's bound to happen after a while. You stop missing or stop hitting the head pin and get off to the side, and you can't always hit it just so you can steal a lot of pins in the middle of your. Start punching through the middle or punching those 2 out. And boy, you punch 2, and then the next shot is a hard shot. Even though there's a lot of pins sitting there. Well, that's not the 2 he was expecting. 8 for 69 on 6. Very straight along, 1 pin within his first game. Now Albert Saulnier's gone 3 boxes without a mark, has 36 after bowling 125 his first game. There he goes.
There he is. There
What he was waiting for.
Yep. Found that groove again.
Well, he did that box anyway.
That's for sure. Now, hopefully, I'm sure he's hoping that he'll hang on to it.
good ball.
With a setup
He's
for
got
his spear.
The 359. 659, sorry.
I'm sure George was hoping that he wouldn't do this well.
Ooh, just missed that front pin. 9 on the strike for 55. And a 9 for 64. So he's only 5 pins behind Larry at this time, and he had 10 pins on him. So there's 5 pins difference between Larry and Albert. And George is coming on pretty good too. 89, yeah. This is about
right now
15 or 16 pins between the 3 of them.
And there's only about 4 pins separating Albert and George for second place right now.
Yeah. So we're going to come down to the wire again.
Yep. It just seems to be a trend for this tournament, I think. Nobody gives up without a fight.
Good split. Good spare. Weldon's not ready to relax any yet. He's going to stay right there and make sure he gets in, even though he had that big 142 the first game.
He's definitely looking to secure that spot. Again, he's back.
And a 7.
Even though he's not on that head pin, he's still getting some good breaks here.
Yeah.
I think we've seen this one before, didn't we?
Well, we have seen a few sloppy ones. That one come right back out of the pit.
Right out of the back door again.
Yeah. Some of the guys that are struggling wish they could do that too.
Yes.
That's the 5 pin, the one right in the middle behind the head pin, and that wood's coming out. Oh.
That is not good.
It needs to back up for George. A little bit more. Well, that narrows his shot down. It's there, but it narrows it down a little bit for him. Nice shot.
Excellent shot. He used the end of that dead wood as a guide and went right on the pin.
Well, now we've had 3 marks in a row by the first 2 bowlers. Nice ball in there. Oh, man, leaves the 5, 7, 10.
That deadwood coming over might help a little bit.
Well, he might go on if the angle's enough on the left-hand end of the right deadwood. He might be able to get something there, right there. Oh, good shot. Really nice shot.
You can hear the fans here today. They're into this game.
And a 9 for 102. That was tough. He needed that one, and he was right there. He could have had that just as easy as not. Now Larry's 9 over par. And got himself a 9-pin drop with a double deadwood, covering at least part of the pin. Oh, yeah. Well, he got it on the first kick, really, because I think it was starting to go over, but he got a double kick in there and made sure it was going.
So far in this game this week, Larry's the only one that hasn't picked up some bonus money. But he's got him working.
You want to wait? He wants to wait. 86 on 7 with the top 3 pins. It was the 1, 2, 3. Haven't seen that break today. Head pin and the 2 right behind it. And a 10 for 96. Now Albert Saulnier finishing up the 7th and 8th of the second game here. Albert's in a struggle right now.
Albert's still under pressure right now to hang on. There, another big strike for him.
So everybody had a mark in the 7th box. So they're coming down to the wire. They're getting the marks under pressure when they need them. That's a sign of good championship bowling.
Certainly is. And right now, Albert's desperately trying to hold on to that 2nd spot, which will advance him into the next round. And a big 9-pin break.
Almost had his double. I don't think he should have any trouble with that. If he can get, well, at least right around the red, I think he should push that right straight back.
Just what he did, and he's got a spare on his strike, which gives him 2 marks in a row and 1 more for some more bonus money.
I don't think he's really concerned about bonus money right now.
No, that's the least of his worries.
He's concerned about that $25 that gets him in the next round. Okay, here we go down to the last 2 frames. Weldon Robbins open 109 and open with a spare right now. Oh, that was in on the hit pin pretty good. 4 on it. So he's got 113 on 8. I would think Weldon's in pretty good shape. Nice 10.
Big
nice 10. So 123 in a box to go. Along with his 142, he's going to have a good double.
Certainly is.
It's 265 right now. Ernie Pittman had a 272 in the first week of bowling, so he's got a shot at that right now.
And he's getting a,
Here they come.
Getting a break.
Here they come.
Getting a break. They're working for him.
So he sets him up for the nice break. He's got the 125. He's got to get back on the head pin.
He's tied with Ernie's score now from the first week.
Yeah, he is.
And takes it by 1.
So a 273 total for Weldon Robbins. Very nice. Very nice bowling. First time on TV bowling, and
he sure didn't let the pressure bother him any today.
showed up real well.
Yes, sure did.
He probably doesn't even know how to say pressure. So.
If he knows what the word means, he didn't show it here today. Championship bowling here on Cable 5 at Brunswick Lanes, brought to you by Subway and Red Knight Enterprises. Just finishing up this week, finishes up the first round of this championship matches. After today, we'll have only 12 bowlers left of the 24 that started.
George would want a double strike to make it a little better for him, because he's in trouble right now. Well, even if he spares this and got 9 or 10 on it, he's going to be awful close. But right now he's sagging a bit.
He was robbed.
That's
on
tough.
It. Yep.
$121 to go with his 107, so that's 228. Excuse me. So now we're looking at Larry's score here. Larry had 115. He's 16 over par, so that's 31. So he's already ahead of George.
Over the past 6 weeks so far, the lowest score that has advanced is 231.
Nine for 105. So now he's got 220. He needs a 9 to go ahead of George. And he's well on his way. So he's tied George right now for total. Spare?
Oh, a spare. I'm sorry. I better learn how to count how many balls they throw.
So 115 plus the ball. 123, and 115 is 238. Now, Albert has 94, that's 219, so Albert needs 20 on his next 2 frames, and he's got a ball, extra ball working for him.
And a big 9 on that.
I guess so. I guess that was a big 9. Got a double deadwood, double or triple deadwood, double wood there, but I think he can probably push that right back. I think the front one will tip the one in behind. So there's bonus money for Albert again. Got 3 in a row. Well, you know, you were almost right, Cliff, when you said he went the first 4 boxes without a mark. He could probably get to 4 or 5 at the end, and he's got 3 in a row now.
Yep, the pressure.
38.
Pressure is easing a little bit on him right now.
At this very moment, he's tied with Larry for that second spot, but he's got a box and a ball, and an extra ball working for him. So.
And there it is.
Another big 18, 121.
That secures a second spot for Albert.
Yes, that's what it did, yeah. But the other 2 guys gave it a good shot.
They certainly did.
He's got 4 in a row.
Well, he almost pulled that 5 off. He still has a chance.
Yeah, if he can strike out here now, he'll have his 5 in a row again.
Yeah. Not realizing what I said, I pretty near called this one.
Yeah.
And 2 on it.
2 for 133, and a 2-game total of 258. So we're looking here. Let me see. Weldon had a 273, and Albert with a 258. They both advance. And George and Larry, unfortunately, will not advance, but George had a 228, and Larry had a 238.
And
so there's some pretty good scores there, you know.
In other weeks, I could have put
whether
them
you make
through,
it or not.
That's right. For the people that might not have noticed it earlier, Bruce is holding up the crystal trophy that these guys are playing for, and so we have 12. Over the last 6 weeks, we've had 12 bowlers that have advanced for the second round, and
this is what they're going for.
And that's what they're going for. It certainly is a beautiful trophy donated by Brunswick Lanes. All this bowling here has been sponsored by Subway and Red Knight Enterprises. So we want to thank St. Jerome's for feeding our crew here today. We want to thank Cable 5 for being here, and Brunswick Lanes for all that they have done. The staff and all the crew behind the scenes work very hard to make sure that this comes to you in without too many hitches.
I don't know whether we're going to get the makeup of the 3 weeks in round 2 or not. I think Gerald's working on it. The names have to be all put in a hat and drawn, and if he's got it done by the time you're finishing giving out the prizes, maybe we can announce it. If not, the list will be here at the bowling alleys. The guys can see them. I have
the list of the 12 guys that are going to advance, and that's Ernie Pittman, Terry Spinney, Randy Schofield, Johnny Watkins, Greg, what is that?
Greg Cuttrow.
Yes, Greg Cuttrow, Randy Nickerson, Sean Wells, Craig Landry, Brian Dion, John Harris, Weldon Robbins, and Albert Saulnier are the 12 that's going to advance
into round 2.
Into round 2.
Yeah. And that starts next week.
That's right.
How they're going to be divided up, we don't know yet.
No,
what the foursomes will be.
That hasn't been decided.
We'll leave that as a surprise.
That's right. Okay. So we're going to take a short pause here, and then we'll pass out some money to our 2 winners, Weldon and Albert. We'll be right back.
Sharing a healthier future with Participation. They're in the game for all the right reasons. Getting together with friends and having fun. By the way, they're also building a better future. Socially, mentally, and physically. Regular activity, Another way that we're all sharing a healthier future. Participaction.
And we've just finished week 6 here at the Championship Bowlings at Brunswick Lanes, and here with me is Albert Saulnier, who came in second today to advance into the next round. And Albert, on behalf of Subway and the Red Knight Enterprises, I want to congratulate you, and there's some money and some bonus money for you that'll help get back some of what you put into this so far and give you a chance on some more. Albert, you started off tremendous in that first game with 5 marks, kind of fell off a little bit, carried through almost the first 5 alleys of the second game, and then came back on strong again. Just a tremendous job.
Yeah, well, most of the games I was on the head pin, but just all of a sudden it started going again for me, so luckily it did.
Well, it came back at the right time, Albert. It's really nice when you get up there and you hit 5 marks in a row, and it sure gives you that little bit of a cushion you need to carry you into that second round.
Takes rid of a little bit of the butterflies and gets you going for the next game, so it does, yeah.
Well, on behalf of our sponsors, Subway and Red Knight Enterprises, congratulations on your advancing into the second round, and we wish you the best of luck and look forward to seeing you in the second round. Thanks, Albert. Okay. Okay, next I'm going to call Weldon Robbins in here. Weldon, congratulations. It was a excellent round for you. That first game you came on real strong, built up a big cushion for yourself, and then came back in the second game to add to it, and right now you have the highest double in all the first 6 weeks.
Yeah, well, I guess I was just on today, so throwing my ball the way I hopefully it would go good.
Well, it certainly did, and very, very proud to see you throw games like that. And on behalf of our sponsors, Subway and the Red Knight Enterprises, I'd like to present you with this check for $25 to advance in the second round, plus some bonus money that you picked up. And on behalf of our sponsors, Subway and Red Knight Enterprises, congratulations on advancing to the second round, and we wish you luck in the second round.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Bruce, if you'd like to step in here for a second.
Little information here that
yeah.
I'd like to hear.
Okay.
They just handed me the lineup for the next 3 weeks. The 12 bowlers who qualified during round 1 have been divided. Their names have been drawn from a hat. They've been divided up into the 3 weeks. And the first week, we're going to see a real potent one here, Cliff. It's Brian Dion, Randy Schofield, Ernie Pittman, and Johnny Watkins.
Oh,
that's a tough bracket to get into.
Certainly is.
On the next week would be Craig Landry, Sean Wells, John Harris, and Terry Spinney. Another good lineup.
Good one.
And the third week of the second round will be Greg Cuttrow, Albert Saulnier, Weldon Robbins, and Randy Nickerson, and they're no slouches.
No.
So we've got 3 good weeks coming up, I want to tell you.
It certainly is, and all of them are well matched. They're really bowling real strong.
And when we finish this round, of course, we'll have 6 bowlers left. We'll be into the semifinals, and we're going to see some bowling, no doubt about it.
We certainly are.
So it looks like 3 big weeks coming up before we get into semifinals and finals.
That's
Turn it back to you, Cliff.
Thanks very much, Bruce. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We've just finished up the 6 weeks of the first round of bowling here at Brunswick Lanes. On behalf of Subway, Red Knight Enterprises, Cable 5, Brunswick Lanes, my co-host here, Bruce Hopkins, and all the people that have worked behind the scenes, we thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it, and we look forward to seeing you next week when we start the second round. And believe me,